it stands out like a sore thumb. And the minute they got eyes on it, what they did was they said, oh, we have a big boo-boo with the IRS. And they said that the cooling system had malfunctioned. Now, it may sound crazy you need a cooling system in space, but if you do infrared, the camera needs to be colder than space itself in order to work. So there was nothing, the cryogenic unit on board the spacecraft was working just fine. That was the story. They changed the encryption codes on the data so that the European partners couldn't get access to anything, but they could see the data was streaming down. And NASA kept saying, well, it's garbage. It's out there floating around, whatever. It's doing nothing. What they did was, as soon as they got eyes on that thing, they were looking for it to determine what's called an ephemeris. An ephemeris is like a train schedule. All right, it says this train goes from here to there, and here's the stations it's going to be at what time it's going to be. Same thing with an ephemeris. They wanted to know where this thing's going to go and how it's going to come around. Now, the Vatican has always been interested in this. They have the Lucifer telescope in Arizona.
Right.
Of course, they deny, but they're in the most perfect place to observe this thing.
And I've always wondered, what the heck is the Vatican doing with telescopes and observatories?
Yeah, and of course it's hard to get past the, nobody here but us chickens, right? And however, I think the interesting thing was in 2006, I'm the guy that broke the story on the South Pole Telescope. They built the South Pole Telescope. They put up a big explanation of why they were doing the science there and spending so much money to do the science at the South Pole. I mean, it was like a Berlin airlift, a C-130 transports, just to get all that equipment and the telescope and the facilities and everything. They could have done it for 10 cents on the dollar in South America and gotten the same results for what they were claiming. But what they did was, that telescope was in the perfect place to make a lot of continuous observations of Nemesis as it was rising up from the southern skies. And they were very secret of it. I had people reporting to me that were working at the Scott Adamson station that they were really annoyed because it's open book science. Everybody shares everything. But that telescope, they would have people, experts, flying in on special aircraft from the U.S., going down there. These teams would go in, make observations, go get back in the aircraft, and disappear back to the U.S. And that was, and no one was able to ask anything. So it's 1983 IRAS. Then you have the South Pole Telescope, which is catching it in the southern sky. Excuse me. And right now, it's the ideal telescope to catch what's happening right now with Nemesis, actually, is the Vatican telescope. It'll have the longest duration viewing position. It's in a region of southeast Arizona that is just superb for telescope viewing skies. It's just ideal. It's in the perfect place for the longest duration. And the reason why the Vatican is so interested is the concern that